Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to share with you a fascinating exploration into the rapidly evolving world of direct-to-consumer brands. Today, we'll be discussing why this research is a must-learn, especially as over 6,000 D2C brands are reshaping India's retail landscape. We'll also look at how billions in funding are flowing into this space, making it crucial for students, faculty, and industry stakeholders to understand this significant shift. Our focus will be on the growth story of D2C brands and whether traditional retail is truly under threat. So, let's dive in and explore what this transformation means for the future of commerce. So, do both models, traditional retail and D2C, have their own distinct strengths? That's the big question we're exploring today. Is D2C, or direct-to-consumer, so powerful that it actually threatens traditional retail channels? What makes D2C brands different is that they reach their customers directly, cutting out middlemen like distributors and retailers. This direct connection allows for better control over branding, customer data, and often quicker response to market changes. Let's look at some examples shaping this landscape. The Sold Store, Lenskart, Sugar Cosmetics, Wow Skin Science, Boat, Mamaearth. These brands are all part of this new wave. Over the last 5 to 7 years, a very powerful business model has emerged, one that leverages digital platforms and direct engagement. This marks the start of what we're calling the D2C revolution in India. It's transforming how brands build relationships with consumers and challenging traditional retail paradigms. So, as we go forward, keep in mind how these brands exemplify the strengths of the D2C model and what that means for the future of retail. Now, let's take a closer look at the real impact of D2C growth on traditional retailers. First, we need to consider the retail impact, how the rise of direct-to-consumer brands is changing the landscape for established players. Are customers actually preferring D2C options because they're more sustainable? That's a key question, especially as sustainability becomes a top priority for many consumers. Next, we'll explore long-term preferences, whether customers truly favor D2C brands over traditional retail in the long run, and what factors influence their loyalty. To understand this shift, we'll analyze the growth drivers behind D2C, including what's fueling their rise and what challenges they face along the way. We'll also look at customer acquisition costs, how much brands spend to attract new customers, and compare retention patterns between D2C and traditional retail. This helps us understand the cost-effectiveness and sustainability of each approach. Finally, trust plays a crucial role. We'll compare how much customers trust D2C brands versus traditional retailers, because trust is foundational to long-term success in any retail model. All of these points tie back to our overall research purpose, to understand how the growth of D2C impacts the broader retail ecosystem and what it means for both brands and consumers moving forward. So let's dive into the critical question here. Is D2C just a passing trend, or are we actually looking at India's new retail future? As many of you know, traditional retail stores are feeling the heat from digital competition. Customers today are seeking more personalized experiences, and that shift is becoming increasingly evident. We're seeing a clear growth in online shopping preferences, which is part of this larger digital shift. In fact, hundreds of millions of consumers are now turning to digital channels for their purchases. This is not just a small change, it's a significant transformation in how retail is happening. Supporting this trend, investor funding into D2C startups has surged, over 35% growth, with more than 1,000 crore rupees flowing into these brands. Today, there are over 6,000 active D2C brands operating across India. So, why does all of this matter? Because understanding these dynamics helps us grasp whether D2C is a fleeting trend or the foundation of future retail in India. It's a vital part of the bigger picture we're exploring today. Let's dive into some of the key research questions that guide this study. First, we're exploring whether customers still value the traditional touch and feel experience with products. Despite the rise of online shopping, this sensory experience remains important for many consumers. Next, we're considering the future of D2C brands. Will they eventually replace brick-and-mortar retail stores? This is a critical question as we look at evolving consumer behaviors and technological advancements. We also want to understand which model, D2C or retail, has a higher retention rate. Customer retention is essential for long-term success, so comparing these models gives us insight into their sustainability. Another vital point is the challenge of customer acquisition cost for D2C brands. Acquiring new customers can be expensive, and understanding this helps evaluate the viability of D2C strategies. We're also examining perceptions of product quality. Do customers perceive D2C products as better than those from traditional retail? This perception can influence trust and purchase decisions. Speaking of trust, how much do customers actually trust D2C brands? Trust is a foundational element for building loyalty and encouraging repeat business. Finally, all these questions tie back to the overall theme of understanding consumer behavior in the evolving retail landscape. Each of these points helps us grasp where the market is heading and what strategies brands might need to succeed. Let's take a closer look at some of the key business metrics we studied. First, repeat purchase behavior is a crucial indicator of customer loyalty and satisfaction. If customers keep coming back, it shows they trust our brand and value our offerings. Along with that, we examined the Net Promoter Score, or NPS, which measures how likely customers are to recommend us to others, another strong sign of their satisfaction. Retention rate is also vital because it tells us how well we're maintaining our customer base over time. A high retention rate typically correlates with a healthy, sustainable business. We also looked at customer acquisition cost, or CAC, which helps us understand the investment needed to bring in each new customer. Managing this effectively is key to profitability. Building customer trust is another central focus, as it influences all these metrics and ultimately drives growth. To get a comprehensive picture, we compared online buyers versus store buyers, highlighting different shopping behaviors and preferences. Our target demographic mainly includes consumers aged 18 to 40 years, predominantly from metro and Tier 1 cities, where digital engagement and purchasing power are higher. In terms of customer segments, we focused on wellness and nutrition, snacks and packaged food, electronics and accessories, fashion and apparel, and beauty and personal care. These categories are seeing significant growth and customer interest. Our target sectors align with these segments, reflecting current market trends and consumer demand. Finally, the scope of our study encompasses these various metrics, customer groups, and product categories to give us a well-rounded understanding of our business landscape. All these insights help us refine our strategies and better serve our customers. Now, for Slide 7, we're exploring a comprehensive research approach that combines both qualitative and quantitative methods to understand the customer experience thoroughly. We'll start with a mystery shopping exercise, where we buy the same product from both a D2C site and a retail store. This allows us to compare the entire experience from start to finish, covering everything from browsing and purchasing to delivery and post-sale support. Next, we analyze data trends, focusing on CAC or customer acquisition costs through digital advertising, retention patterns from D2C CRM data, and retail footfall comparisons. These data points help us understand how customers are engaging across different channels and how cost-effective these channels are. We also look at key insight areas such as competition, margins, and how customer behavior is evolving over time. To deepen our understanding, we involve 20 D2C founders and 20 retail store owners through interviews, which provide qualitative insights into their perspectives and experiences. On the quantitative side, we conduct surveys with around 250 to 300 customers. These surveys compare important aspects like trust, perceived quality, delivery experience, the return process, and overall value for money. Altogether, this mixed methodology helps us paint a detailed picture of the customer journey and the competitive landscape, allowing us to identify opportunities for improvement and growth within this space. Now, let's dive into Slide 8, where we focus on the quality assessment of the unboxing and fulfillment experience. This is a critical part of our overall customer journey because it directly impacts customer satisfaction and loyalty. We'll start with the delivery and packaging audit, which helps us evaluate how well our packaging protects the product and how it influences the customer's first impression. Next, we look at the multidimensional loyalty and repeat purchase tracking, giving us a comprehensive view of how often customers return and what drives their loyalty across different factors. To synthesize this data, we use the retention score matrix, which helps us identify strengths and areas for improvement. We also compare customer acquisition cost and lifetime value through a dedicated framework, which is essential for understanding the sustainability of our marketing efforts. The CAC versus LTV analysis template provides a structured way to visualize this relationship. Beyond numbers, we need to assess the customer journey touchpoints thoroughly. That's where the experience evaluation checklist comes in, making sure every interaction reinforces trust and satisfaction. Speaking of perception, measuring customer confidence and reliability perception through the brand trust scale helps us gauge how much our brand is trusted. Finally, all of this data relies on effective data collection tools, ensuring we gather accurate, actionable insights. By integrating these assessments, we can continuously improve the unboxing and fulfillment experience, ultimately strengthening our overall brand and customer relationships. Creating memorable packaging and unboxing moments is crucial because it transforms a simple purchase into an experience customers will remember and share. This helps build strong emotional connections with your brand. When customers feel excited about unboxing, they're more likely to become loyal and repeat buyers. Building retention is also essential, and one effective way to do that is through recurring revenue models and loyalty programs. These strategies encourage customers to keep coming back, fostering long-term relationships and increasing lifetime value. A subscription model is another powerful tool. It not only provides predictable revenue, but also helps deepen the connection with your customers by delivering ongoing value and convenience. Investing in storytelling is vital. When your brand tells compelling stories that resonate emotionally, you create a stronger bond with your audience. This emotional connection can differentiate you from competitors and foster brand loyalty. Strong branding is fundamental as well. Whether you're selling online or offline, adopting both channels broadens your reach and enhances your credibility. A consistent brand presence across platforms reassures customers and reinforces your identity. Finally, leveraging influencer and community marketing, instead of relying solely on expensive digital ads, can be highly effective. These strategies build authentic engagement and trust within targeted communities, ultimately reducing your customer acquisition costs. All of these strategies, creating memorable experiences, fostering loyalty, storytelling, branding, and community engagement, are strategic tools that can help D2C brands thrive in a competitive landscape. Now, let's look at some strategic implications for traditional retailers. First, using data to optimize inventory and personalization is crucial. By analyzing customer data, we can better manage stock levels and tailor the shopping experience, making it more relevant and engaging for each individual. Next, store analytics play a vital role. They help us understand customer behavior within the store, allowing us to elevate in-store customer service and engagement. This creates a more memorable shopping experience that encourages loyalty. Moving on, enhancing the overall experience is key. This involves exploring partnerships with emerging D2C brands, which can bring fresh products and ideas into our stores, helping us stay innovative and relevant. Strengthening digital payments and loyalty programs is another important aspect. Seamless digital transactions and personalized rewards foster customer retention and make the shopping process smoother. Finally, integrating online and offline presence through an omnichannel strategy ensures a cohesive brand experience. Customers should feel connected whether they shop in store or online, which ultimately strengthens our overall retail approach. All of these points tie back to our core theme: adapting and evolving in a rapidly changing retail landscape to stay competitive and meet customer expectations. The future belongs to both retail and D2C, but only if they evolve smartly. This research aims to uncover whether D2C will completely replace traditional retail, or if both will come together to form a hybrid retail model that shapes the future. Remember, retail is fundamentally built on trust and experience. Consumers value the tangible, personal touch that traditional retail offers. On the other hand, D2C brands are growing rapidly, driven by speed, innovation, and personalized experiences that resonate with today's consumers. The key takeaway here is that the future isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about a hybrid approach, combining the speed and innovation of D2C with the trust and tangible experience of traditional retail. In India, this hybrid model is likely to be the way forward, blending the best of both worlds to meet evolving consumer expectations. So, in conclusion, the future of retail will be a combination, leveraging speed, innovation, trust, and experience to create a more dynamic and customer-centric retail landscape.